Well, hello there, hi there, welcome to Just Bird. This is a 3-month ahead reading for Harry Styles. So May, June, and all of July. Now through August. Let's see what's coming up for Mr. Harry Styles. I'm going to fast forward. Alright folks, let's just see what's coming up in the next 3 months for Harry Styles. In the first position, we have disillusion. So this is his approach toward life, and he's here to break some barriers as far as the way that what people think. He's an individual. So I think this is speaking to this, is he or isn't he, concerning his manhood. Too soon in the video to say what it is, but you know what I'm talking about, where some folks in life believe this about him, some folks believe this about him, and nobody really knows anything. Well, that's his approach toward all things, to keep you guessing. And I'm going to say, because it's nobody's business, and he's here to expand your mind and to kind of break these barriers within other people, because those type of things just don't matter. And I think that Harry's approach is just to be unique. And that's it. Let's see. Where will this most affect? It's really like others, but how will this most affect, in what area for Harry? All areas. It's his approach. Oh, in love, I was feeling those that more intimate level. So in the next position, we have the card Feel. This is talking about his current economic affairs, monies, work endeavors. So his self-worth even. So he's in his feelings about something. I'm going to see what that is. But when those fish swarming around, it could be something with money, that he needs to be driven through emotion versus material objects or whatever. He has to have a feeling in order to produce. As far as how he feels about himself, he's in his feelings. So let's see. He's an emotional person, is what I'm trying to say at this time. He may be lying to himself. Seven of Swords, self-sabotage. When he sabotages himself when it comes to his emotions, his feelings, and it could play out. People in his could be stealing his monies, or from him. There's a liar in his workhouse, but that could be acting, and he would like a position of an emotional role, one that speaks to the heart, from the heart. He has to be connected in that way. It's almost like he doesn't trust the way that he feels in his workhouse. So that is speaking to me that he's been shafted, and it does, as far as his emotions, he lies to himself about how he feels. All right, moving into the next position. This is speaking back to his childhood, okay? And he escapes this is how he escapes, right? He learned how to escape in childhood, and that's how he deals with people. You may hear him communicating that in the future, maybe writing a book, talking about it, or through interviews, something, whatever. But he learned how to get away. Maybe the greatest, how to escape these feelings, what to do, where to go. And it's the same way, like he escapes conversations too. So this is the card of communications, but he doesn't have, he duck and dive, he dodges conversation. So he's not going to, at least at this time. So if he is talking about something, he may be talking about a vacation or what he did on his downtime, how he need to get away, something like that. But when it comes to deep conversations, it eludes him. He does not want to go there, at least not publicly. Five of Swords could create some form of argument. When arguments ensue, he's that guy. I run, I get away. I have to escape the arguments, and I learned how to do so in my childhood. So hopefully, it seems like Harry learned some very healthy things along the way. Right, how to escape arguments. Which may come off as manipulation, hey, you do what you gotta do. He'd rather avoid it. Well, it's not avoiding, but yeah, kind of. His mind says, let me get out of here, enough fuss and fight and argue, which is a healthy mindset. So I like to see that. He learned this, though, in his early developmental years. All right, fourth position, we have freedom coming up. So this is his family roots, his home, and all that. So, and he escapes that too, but not really. He's very liberated and finds freedom within his home. But this also means like he doesn't spend a whole lot of time there. He's a free bird, and it's what makes him most comfortable. Is being free and being able to be who I am, and he's comfortable at home, and it's this feeling of wherever I am, I make it, it's almost like I bring a piece of home to wherever I am. I wonder what that may be. What, like, his source of comfort, like when you're on the road, or you have a heavy work schedule, or you're just like travel a lot, constant movement. But that is just who he is innately, and that's what makes him comfortable. But I wonder what it is that he takes from home, like a physical, tangible thing that brings that comfort within all of his travels. So let's see. So, he's liberated at home. He's very wealthy. He has a very nice home, and he dotes and spends, he has a luxury taste, and he splurges on family. And he don't care. He's very free with his money, free with his family and friends, whatever family looks like to Harry. But I'm over here because I'm on the go all the time, but he's very comfortable with his family. I would believe that those who are close to him, that reared him, that are his family, There's no question in their mind about a Zary or a Larry or a Looney or a Toonie. No question in their mind. He is free to be within his family. Seems very much attached to family. And this could be that he could be moving somewhere, but I don't think it is. I think it's like, I have this beautiful family and all of these luxury things, but it's, I have all of this security within my family unit, but I am a free bird. That's it. Like he's like a gypsy soul. So no one will be able to pin him down, but he's extremely committed to his family and what he contributes that to be. Right, in the next position, we have Earth showing up. So let's just see. What is this bird a-chirping over here? Right, it speaks to his passions and his playfulness. So again, he spreads his passion and his fire, right, wherever he goes. His creative nature, it's what makes him competent. So I believe that you're going to see him traveling the globe, and he's known all over. He may have something coming up. Some creative project coming up, like for Earth Day, or keep it green, something to do with nature and nurturing of the planet. So let's see. He touches the hearts of children around the world. Seven of Wands. To protect the earth. So like I was saying, some kind of green project coming up for the earth's protection, some kind of eco-friendly something. You'll know. Maybe he gets one of those. I don't know. Maybe he does a commercial for one. I have no idea, but it's a creative project that's coming up for him, that to defend, protect the world, the earth. So in the next position, we have change. So what's a changing? Well, it's in his foundation. It could be a health change coming up, but something in his daily life is just going to change, which could mean that's why he's not at home, or whatever. Pay attention to the details and everything that you sign, right? All of his contracts, things like that. Because something is changing. That could be a good thing. Could be representing maybe a script that he desires, or work that's coming up, that would interrupt his routine, his daily grind right now. So let's see, because this also is like his future finances. So let's see. The world. He's going to be traveling the world for some project. Maybe it's this Earth thing. Some script, some song, something global though. And it would be music because it's his foundation. So I'm going to say it could be. Well, it could be anything because it's establishing a foundation. So tour, music change. It's going to music, travel, music, tour. All right. But this is separate. This is separate. That passion, it is separate from that. But it is funny that it shows up twice, so it may still have something to do with Earth. You see the world here. And we have the Earth here. So it's like, and we have the Earth here. So, some significance in the world in tarot means travel and closing out a chapter. There could be a change where he's closing one project out, beginning a new one. Who knows? But I'm going to say it's travel, and something's changing. It could be his plans, his itinerary for his travel. There could be something coming up with health. Maybe I don't know, maybe it's a shot or something that needs to be had before you can travel here or whatever, or something changes to a health thing. And it doesn't have to be his health either. But, just like, don't take health serious, because look at Zayn's health scares. It was bubble guts. So, but it does, certain things will cancel or halt or change. It doesn't say that anything is really ending. Well, the world is a chapter's closing, but one's beginning. So we'll see how that plays out. Change of plans. We'll see what changes in the future. In the next position, we have, intuition. So he's probably feeling, since he's in his feels, he's probably feeling a lot, and getting some intuitive hits like, oh shit, I knew this wasn't a good idea, or the feeling when you make a misstep because you were forewarned, not by any person, but by God himself, and go right into that little belly and twist it around. Get into your little mind where you can't sleep at night, or tossing and turning, not knowing which way to go, which decision to make. Yeah. That little songbird, that internal thing. It's talking to him. So what's it talking about? Well, it's talking about a profound relationship. Intimacy. Romance. Marriages. So again, he's in his feelings during this 3-month time, and he trusts himself. He trusts himself. Let's see. Could be a water sign, an intuitive person that's coming in for him. Very gentle. We'll see. Could be, it's a new one. It's a new one. They could be earth energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. That's highly intuitive, but he's learning how to trust this. Could be, it's something new. So he's trusting, they're offering something, right? Someone's coming in and they have some gesture for him, a date or something like that, and he's going with it. He's going to trust his gut on it and allow his intuition to lead in this new relationship. So there's a prospect, since he's not claiming anyone, right? That's a lot, and then the ones that do claim, they're lying in our face. Like the women the are there just to make certain men, talked about. So, to keep their name in the buzz in the tabloids so that their work gets seen, or I don't know. It's their climb up. Well, what he doesn't see coming is union, so I'm just saying. It's a new one, but he doesn't see it coming. And he needs to face his fears about this. He fears this because it could be a karmic relationship, right? The fear could come from having to face his karma. But this is about transformation. This is about change. This is about what you don't see coming and what he actually does desire. Subconsciously, he wants a union. And it's here. It's actually, there's the opportunity is presenting himself. Let's see, will he actually enter into union? Because it's not, you don't, But the fact that he's even entertaining it and just kind of trusting it because it's new, he feels secure in it. You know, it's earth energy, so he feels like it's a genuine person. He's feeling them. It's a Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. They're just dragging their feet. They take too long. They move real slow. This person, like, not just like no movement. He's not, he wants it, and it appears that it's the earth energy, but won't make a move into it. And that's there's just a fear. I don't know. I mean, if this was in the reverse. I just don't like to look at it in the reverse. Especially with union. But that is just someone that is, they're not running, you know, the highest polarity, right? They're imbalanced. They're not, they could be broken, busted, whatever. Or maybe they're a very insecure person and they take their time, and it could be because they don't have the finances, they're not where he's at in his career, and so forth, and it could really just halt everything. This could also be a real stingy person if they do have money. That's just like doesn't want to get into union because of it. Takes their time though. He doesn't see it coming, and it's going to take a long time for him to get there. So even if he's thinking about it, it may stay in that mindset beyond this 3-month period. Do you know what I mean? Like you're not going to see any movement or see any union during this time frame. But it is new. Someone new that's coming in romantically. And trust me, like the cards would say, if there wasn't anyone coming, there would be no representation. So let's see. What is he? This is spiritual growth. So this is what he talks about, right? From his 6th house. The change in plans or change in travel or this new chapter or whatever. This is what he's speaking into existence, is patience. Just needing, so whatever he's talking about, that change, it's going to take some time before it actually manifests. So he manifests patience and time, you know, easy going. Let's just see. He's trying to hook the right one. And I'm not talking about relationships as far as romantical relationships. I mean like the right job, just the right everything. I've got the time. That's by closing out this chapter up here, whatever this significant change that showed up in the 6th position, well, now in the 9th, he created space and he's relaxed about it. Where up here, it seems to be a bit tumultuous. Patience with the foundation. It could be a relationship, just as I say, it's not a relationship. The relationship card shows up, but building that foundation, taking time to build the foundation with whatever type of relationship it may be, whether it's love or work or whatever. Good for Harry. Isn't that just a sweet card, though? All right. Let's just keep it moving. In the next position, we have give. This is about his accomplishments and career, but his life mission is to give. And I feeling like this is him playing into this creative project of wanting to defend the earth, protect the earth. We've got the greens growing out of her palms, and up here we have, I feel like this is playing into that, because this is, it takes structure and discipline, and so he's giving to it in his life, in his soul's purpose. He's very much aligned. He knows that he needs to be in service, to have that constant flow of energy. Material flow, right? Where everything that's going out energetically is coming back, but it's coming back materially, it's coming back spiritually, it's coming back emotionally, it's coming back romantically. So the ever flow, and once people learn to give, you'll never change your way, because it's literally how you receive everything. So he understands that. And he also understands that this is his purpose. Now, in this house, this is a house where it's like how he's viewed by the yous and the me's, right? Like how he's viewed by others. It's like his social standing. Well, a giver. A person of service, very kind, generous. That's how he's viewed. Very nice. Let's just pull a card on that. He gives, and then it's like he receives and he grows. Everything he touches grows by giving. So he... all of his blessings right above. Knight of Wands in the reverse. So someone is on fire for their passion. This is his passion projects and stuff. That some people look at him as a player. His social standing, like a king in reverse. Like he's plays games. He's like some people may find him to be a dick, a douche, stubborn asshole type. I don't want to look at the kings in reverse either. It's the people that are coming up in the reverse, and this is representing him, right? So he's viewed as like an intolerant Aries, at their worst behavior. Fire signs at their worst. I don't know why people would view him that way, but I would say that they also view him as just like really passionate person. That's on fire for their passion, if that makes sense. But when it comes to his pain, there's a certain amount of folks that think that he likes to give it just, freely. Some folks think that he's just like really stubborn, real stubborn, not easy breezy like this intuition card, right? No, King of Wands in the reverse. No. Some folks just think that he has no potential. I don't know who those folks are, but they are not aware, apparently, right? Now, in the 11th house, we're talking about like-minded folks. We're talking about his friends, and we have a blockage. So that's letting me know that there's some kind of indifference on the friend tip. Let's just go a little bit further. There's a communication issue here, that he's not speaking. He's not saying what needs to be said. Words are not being spoken. And this is in his friends group. So either his friends feel that he's not speaking up about something and he's nonverbal and non-communicative. We'll see. Let's see. But this also would speak to this like earth, this creative project up here, as far as like protecting the earth and it's like a humanitarian act. Well, this position talks and speaks about the humanitarian beliefs, and he's blocked there too. And it may be somebody trying to block this project because he's defending it. Anyhow, let's see. So there's a blockage within his friends group. Let's see. And they're keeping it hidden, and there's secrets. He's keeping his mouth shut. He's not speaking. High Priestess. And you see here, I'm saying he's not speaking because the throat has a knot in it, right? So if he can't speak, there's a friend that's either he's keeping their secret or the friend is keeping the secret. There's secrecy and there's a blockage, which is just saying, letting me know that there's silence. There's someone is not talking within his friends group. Could be Pisces that's keeping their mouth closed. 12th house speaks to the enemies, and we got a recharge. So there's a resurgence in enemies. So I don't know what that looks like. Is this the enemy of the media? But he will get through. There's also a recharge in like sacrificial service and healing, which is showing up over here in his being of service. And receiving his karma, right? And, receiving your karma is not always bad unless you have always done bad. Like when you also receive the consequence for good behavior and the karma for doing the next right thing, for doing, there's good karma. Karma is not a bad word, karmic relationships aren't bad. It's just lessons that need to be learned. Our souls need to be able to advance. And sometimes when our souls need to be advanced, but we're stuck in gravity, right? In the physical body, well, we have to destroy something before we can advance. And it doesn't look pretty here on Earth, all right? But let me just keep moving into the 12th position here. He's having a resurgence in his spirituality, so he's feeling uplifted, intuitive by nature. I'm going to say Harry's an empath. And when he is filled with his feelings, he likes to escape, and he escapes in his feelings as well. Like there's a freedom there. It's probably a creative connection where he could write. Let's see. Look, marriage. It's 6 of Wands, but it's success card. But in this card, there's a marriage. There's a wedding. It doesn't have to be his. But when we're talking about spirituality, he could be committed to somebody. There's a recharge, a resurgence in success, in a victory. So this is his enemies are going to find success, or is this Harry will succeed? There's a resurgence in the enemies, and they are finding success. They may interfere in this relationship that he's trying, that's coming in over here. It may even be why this is going to take so long to take off. But I wouldn't trust those around me. It doesn't seem like he does anyway. Harry protects himself. He even lies to himself about the way that he feels. So over the next 3 months, that's what I have. I see changes in the work front. A good change, though, like closing out something, travel, tour, play dates, music, passion, relationship, structure, balance, really growing spiritually with this person. And I was going to say something about this person being kind of like a really good match, but it really may be and result in something. See, we have the 4 of Wands there. We have the 6 of Wands over here. Now, the courting in the 4 of Wands in this deck, where they're courting and taking their time, right? That's what's happening over here. So, a building of a relationship, and it will be a significant one. And it's somebody new. So tell me your thoughts. Well, hello there. Hi there. Welcome to Just Bird. Today's reading is Niall Horan. And it is a 3-month ahead. So there's 12 positions, and I'm going to fast forward this part. All right, let's just dig right into Niall Horan. First up, we are talking about how he approaches life, right? This is what he thinks of himself. Well, he don't know what to think. He don't know himself. He's like, I don't know who I am. I have no idea how to approach life. It's like everything's dark in front of him. What's that about? His individuality is really discovering, of self and the world around him. It seems like he feels Like he doesn't know much. And he's navigating, he has to be the light within the tunnel of darkness. Well, there's a blockage as far as work is concerned. Maybe he's having a writing block or something right now. There could be he could be feeling insecure again with this blockage in the throat. So I'm going to feel that he cannot sing or communicate about something to do with his contract, his job, his value, his contract, you know, and he can't speak up for himself. He really doesn't know what to say, what to do. And this plays out in his work. There also could be a blockage as far as his funds are concerned. I don't know if that's like a court blocking him or what, but let me clarify that. What is this blockage about? Is it about property or like his material things? Or is this about his work contracts? He can't speak up for himself. It's about his happiness, personal happiness, abundance. It's about abundance. He can't speak up for he doesn't have enough self-confidence, self-worth to speak up for what he is worth, like material worth. All right. Niall. Well, he needs to learn. He's expressive when he communicates, but right now what he can't communicate about is he can't express his self-worth. He can't express his value. He learned in his early childhood how to be expressive. Seems like he had a good childhood too. And how to express himself, how to carry himself rationally. And that's how he's very expressive within his communications when he is talking to people. And that's healthy, you know. Let's just clarify the communication. He's expressive. Oh, and he's generous and kind, and he learned how to be of service and to express himself through acts of kindness and acts of service. He learned that through his upbringing. Kudos to your parents, Niall Horan. It's what brings stability and balance to a young man's life. All right. He may be talking about some kind of act of kindness or service work that he's into or charity that he's working with. All right. Getting into the next house, we have intuition. And this is his home. So he feels he feels good at home. Like he trusts the people that he's around. He's probably comes from someone who's highly intuitive. He may be intuitive himself, but it's what brings him peace. So he's in touch with his feelings, but he still doesn't know how to approach life. He feels lost. like over a sense of overwhelm. But he's rooted in intuition, so I'd say that he's an empath, and it's something that's passed down within his family. Let me see. He may do like feng shui in his house or something, have one of those decorators come in, set everything up. Ooh, tower. Why the destruction? So there could be something happening at home. There could be he may make a move because he's trusting his gut. So whatever his intuition is telling him about his physical home, maybe time to move, maybe time to, I don't know, fix something within the physical home. It just may be time to sell the home. Maybe he senses that the property is going to depreciate, or that there's going to be an earthquake or some kind of natural disaster where his property resides, because that's what he's feeling, that his home is going to be destroyed. But we're not talking about him being destroyed. We're just talking about the house itself, the physical home. I don't know where Niall Horan resides. I have no idea. But whatever their natural disasters are, or if he feels that something is kicking in with him where he feels like he's going to have to make a decision, and it will be sudden. It will be a sudden decision that he's trusting himself, and it has to do with his house, because he feels like either the stock market's going to crash, something's going to come crashing down that would affect possibly the peace in his house or the value of the home. So he, if it is not, in fact, like, I feel like, whatever the natural disaster is, that my home isn't safe here. I don't know. Like in California, a lot of folks got screwed over by insurance companies. So there could be something like that wherever he resides, where I better get out of here because I see what they're doing to, the Palisades or whatever, and people are just, everything that they put their entire life into is gone or next to gone, and they can't get any return value because the insurance companies pulled out, said, oh yeah, we're not insuring you after 35 years or something, some baloney. He may sense something is coming, so. But he's not going to allow anything to interrupt his peace. So he's, let's see. In the next house, now maybe practicing some bad behaviors. There could be some S&M kind of things going on, or cheating, or threesomes, any weird kind of play. But when it's your shadow, it's like something unhealthy is being played out. Which could mean that if sex is his shadow, then he could be promiscuous or cheating or something. It could be. Please don't. I hope he doesn't have any gambling where he's taking risks. Please don't. It will bite you in the butt during this 3-month period. Okay, it will bite you in the butt. You'll lose a lot of money really fast, and you may not be able to stop. That may be what the destruction is, and you already know it's coming if you're caught up. But it could also be, the lack of confidence that just keep creating the blockage in his work of that, where he can't speak up for himself. By the time he does, it may be playing out negatively. Let's just see. Strength, you got it. So there's power, courage, and it's the shadow. He may be holding back from acting out, taking a lot of courage to deal with his shadow and resisting cheating, right? Like wanting to, but just not doing it. Wanting to gamble, but just not doing it. Wanting to do something that's out of, what we would probably see as out of character, but it's so innately ingrained in his character. And he's resisting it. So whatever it is, he's resisting. And over here, there's a blockage in his throat, which is affecting his work and his abundance. And over here, we aren't acting out. No. I know if I act out in whatever way, whatever way it may be, it will result in the lack thereof of what he's trying to build, what he desires to have. And over here he has a blockage, and the sun is about confidence. And in this position, and it's again, confidence is strength, is confidence, but the position itself is confidence and creativity. So I think in the beginning of this, there's something going on in the workhouse, and that he's not speaking up for himself. He doesn't have the confidence to do that, but he's building it up over here. The reason he's not saying something is because he doesn't want to come out like a beast. You know what I mean? Like he is holding back that, the rage. And I'm not saying the young man is filled with rage, but he's holding back. But here there's a blockage, and he doesn't know, he cannot speak. But he cannot, the blockage isn't because he cannot, he will not. And it's taken everything inside of him to not speak up. Where over here, I was like, man, the boy just won't speak up for himself and say, when it comes to a contract or dealing with management or anything with work, that he just doesn't have the confidence to say it. He doesn't initially, but it's the blockage isn't because of something that needs to be fixed, right? It's literally because he's holding it in, he's holding back. He doesn't want to go off half-cocked. So good for you, because it won't pan out well if he were to. So something's going on in Niall's life that is just, it's disruptive at this point. Over the next few months, it will play out. But it's going to look like he's not speaking up for himself, but that's not the case. But that's where it begins. And so it will appear that way It is not playing out that way, though. It just takes a couple of more steps before he has the confidence and the courage to say what's on his mind. He doesn't want to destruct, himself. He doesn't want to crash, he doesn't want to crash out. He wants to bring balance and security into the overall situation. And sometimes being the bigger person means keeping the mouth shut. Because ultimately, we're moving into the next position, and it's celebrate. So this is work. This is the future work house here, and like future finances and stuff. So we're celebrating something. So he may not be able to ask for what he wants here until he establishes in his mindset and his grounds himself, so he doesn't go off like a maniac. He will get what he wants ultimately by holding back, by practicing restraint. And that is where he's finding his confidence over this time frame. And then he gets to celebrate, right? So there's project or something coming up. So good. And if it was asking for the money, the payment's coming. You're going to get what you asked for, is what I'm saying. I don't even need to clarify that. Moving into the house of relationships, into his 7th house, we have, it's on his mind. That's all that's on his mind. They're on his mind. And he's thinking heavily about the relationship that he's in. So let's see a little bit further. And he keeps her in thought. She's constantly on his mind. As well as she's intelligent, and that is something that he's drawn to. It's not just the physicality. And they will marry. So that's what's on his mind. He's thinking of marriage. If he can pull it off. Can it be a successful marriage? If I propose, will the marriage itself be a success? And will she say yes? Let's just keep it moving. Who cares? That's not something that, you need a tarot reader to say. If she'll say yes or she'll turn you down. That should always be a surprise, no matter what the answer is. So, moving right into the 8th house. Our position here, we have home. This is what he doesn't see coming. Maybe a new home. Like he's trusted in his gut up here and where to move and what to do and where to build the foundation, because he's not feeling like where he's at is comfortable. Physical house. Here we have another physical house, but we could be talking about him as a person. But what he doesn't see coming is the comfortability of someone entering his life into his home. So how comfortable whoever this is, probably this person here. Or it could be a new home that he doesn't see coming. But let's see. I believe that he just doesn't realize how comfortable this relationship here is making him, or that, what's to come. Wife, baby, children. He doesn't see it coming. He may feel inadequate, or like he's doesn't have enough. He doesn't think that she'll say yes, I think. Or if he were to break it off with the one that he's with, he doesn't see that there is one for him. Or maybe he just doesn't understand that the one that he's with is the one, she is your queen. She's the one that you're supposed to have children with. She's the one that's supposed to be your wife. She's, she's that one. Now, as far as in bed, that'll be boring and routine too. It's where you want to get to. She's been with this one for a while, so you'll get there. Let's see. So now moving into the next position is literally the position of spiritual growth. Right? And what does he have? Transform. So he's growing up. He's changing. He doesn't know how to approach the world. He's actually growing up and learning that, like, I know nothing at all. As a teenager, we believe that we know everything under God's beautiful sun. The older you get, you realize you don't know anything, and it's okay. I wasn't put here to learn everything. So he's growing up. He's changing. There's some significant spiritual change for him, which could come in the form of a wife or a commitment, a vow of sorts. But this is for him. It's really for him, but it's also what he's speaking into fruition. So what was he talking about? Whatever he's celebrating up there. Or here. Childhood, expressing the talking. He could be talking about the charity. He could be it's helping him grow. If he's involved in a charity, it's helping him to grow spiritually, and only Niall would be able to confirm any of his spiritual growth. Now, when people do exhibit spiritual growth, it does manifest in life, and you will see and be witness to the change of footing. Sometimes there's a change in verbiage. Maybe there will be a change in work or style thereof. But usually when people change, others don't recognize it. It's an internal change, an internal shift, and it's for self. So I believe this is strictly for Niall. All right. Moving right along, we have roots. So he's got some roots in his 10th house. And this is how, like, you and I view him, right? Family is his mission, and making whatever and whomever his family, doesn't have to be blood, is what I'm trying to say. That's what grounds him. That's what he needs, this in his life in order to grow. And this is, people view him as rooted in love of someone or something. But that's how he's viewed by the fans, and others from the outside looking in. They just view him as soulful, peaceful, grounded, well balanced, family oriented, down to earth, and that he's really rooted in his music, and that music is his mission. Like, that is his soul's purpose here, as far as his career and accomplishments. It is his life's mission. And just as much as music is what he is rooted in, his family is just as much a part of his mission, the one that he comes from and the one that he will co-create. What a beautiful card. Isn't she pretty? So pretty. All right, so all about union for Niall, because we're moving into his friend's house. So his lover is a friend, and he's going into union with a friend. So if things don't work out with the one that he's with in the next few months, he may be entering into union with a friend that he does know. But this is just letting me know that he is in union with a friend, and right now he's in union with someone, and right here he just doesn't know that she will become his wife, that there is a wife, a home, a wife, that someone that wants to be your soft place to fall. She wants to dote on you. She wants to like, she doesn't just want to be arm candy. She wants to have babies. She would like to stay at home with them. This is a more of a traditional type of gal. This is also a gal that'll stand by him through everything and make him feel just safe, protected, and comfortable at all times. Like, she'll do her best. I know people fuss, but you know what I'm saying. We fuss with love. All right, so let's just see if we can clarify this union. He also could be coming together with someone for a humanitarian project, belief. Again, it could be Harry, since he has one coming up too, some kind of project. I don't know. I'm just saying. Five of Swords. So it's someone that he argues with, fought for, will fight for this union. So it's someone that's a friend, right? That they've had words, but they're back to being friends again. So this doesn't have to be his lover, right? It doesn't have to be his lover. I'm just saying the union because it's union on the card, but like, he could be coming into union, back into union with someone that a friend of his that he has had arguments with in the past, and they may be seeing eye to eye again within this 3-month period of time. So if he's been on the outs with someone, friend or family, whatever, they'll be back on track with one another. Seems like someone had a lot to say in the past, and in the future this is squashed. Whatever was said, it won't be brought up again, is what this card is telling me. Well, these combinations. Now, as far as his enemies, boy, they're everywhere. They like to do their homework. Exploring Niall. They like to poke fun, stick their tongue out, you know. They could be explorers or people that travel a lot, you know. I'm just going to say that his enemies, well, they're your enemies, so they're exploring you and ways in which to trip you up. Oh, yeah, they'll lie, cheat, and steal from them. And they're exploring their options and how they can do that. So you have some folks that, they're your enemies. So, I mean, what are you supposed to say about that? They're his enemies. They're not going to be telling, well, this is what you can trust. That if you're hearing some baloney out there that Niall Horan is a piece of blah, 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 or this, that, is all bullshit lies from his enemies. Just planted stories or whatnot. So just know that it's not the truth. It's just a setup, and it's all baloney. And they explore like new ways of doing it with lies and manipulation. Could be something surrounding like an amusement park or something, some lie about it, some amusement park or trailway. Anyhow, that's what I have for Niall Horan over the next few months. Please do consider to become a member if you'd like exclusive content for the boys or early content. Well, hello there, hi there, welcome to This Bird. Today's readings for Louis Tomlinson, and this is a 3-month ahead reading for Louis Tomlinson, so it'll be now through August. So let's see what's coming up for Louis Tomlinson over the next 3 months. Ooh. All right, Louis. Let's see what's coming up for Louis. I'll have tarot in case I need to clarify. But in the first position, it's talking about his self-image, how he feels about himself. And he feels secretive. Like he has a hidden agenda. So he's not going to be expressive. He's going to be more secretive. His approach to life is not going to be forthcoming by any means. It'll be undercover. All right. And his second house, well, he's just having fun. And this is speaking to his current finances and jobs and things of that nature. So he's having fun. Whatever he's doing, as far as making money and projects and so forth, he feels good about himself. His self-worth is up. He's just having a good time. That's it. Very straight to the point there. So there could be something playful and fun that's coming up that's going to generate funds for him. So if you're worried about his mental health, he's having a good time, no matter what it is. All right, because in his third house, well, this is house of communications. That's exactly what he's going to be communicating about: fun, freedom, and a good time. He learned how to be this way in childhood, right? Fun-loving and carefree. So he doesn't hold on to much. He's silly by nature. This is all, this all goes back to his developmental years. So good job to his mama. This is how he communicates. Lightheartedly, right? It's a good time just talking to him, whether you're involved romantically or you're just a good friend. I know he's a great interview. It's great. He's good fun to watch in interviews because of his lighthearted, comical ways, right? His nuance is great, but this is just how he deals. Very, rationally, but also with a light heart. It's having the ability to laugh at life and its circumstances, right? Because they suck. Anyhow, moving right along into his home. Well, that's exactly, he's on a roll. So with family and friends and where he's rooted, he's having a good time. Maybe they are literally going bowling. This is a very playful spirit over the next few months where you'll be seeing him having fun with family and friends and people that are that he can just be silly with. But it is very playful spirit and with friends and family. But playfulness at work as well. So wherever Louis goes over the next few months, it just seems to be comical and fun-loving. Now, being on a roll as far as his physical house, let's see. Is that rolling the dice or like taking a risk on a home? Or, okay, maybe leaving a home. Because we've got the 5 of Cups. There's not enough love. I don't love this place enough. So I'm on a roll. I'm going to roll the dice and take a risk, probably move somewhere else. He's making progress in that direction because wherever he is at, I don't know where his residence would be, but he's not feeling that he's suited there. So he's going to move along, keep it moving. He just hasn't completely found a place yet of where he will be rooted in, but he's not satisfied with the home that he's in. So moving on. So into the Essex here, right? Well, he's with somewhat high maintenance. Gotta jump through hoops to be with Lou. He likes the whole charades. You know, he wants you to be playful. He wants role play. He wants all of the theatrics of the SX. So you can't blame him. He's in a good position. He could risk if he wanted to gamble a little something. You don't go big and don't do that, but you could go and have a good time at a casino or something. Anyhow, moving right along into the 6th position. Well, we have loving and wholehearted. Well, this is his future finances, and it will be loving what he does. He's going to give 100%. He's wholehearted when he talks about, he loves life. This is it, like the daily grind, right? This is his everyday in and out. He loves it. He's wholehearted about it, everything. He's a solid freaking dude. His health is in good shape. And he seems like he's really good. Emotionally, spiritually. Life, this feels good. Yeah, and he's offering nothing but love, kindness, generosity. He has love to give, and he comes from his heart. So he's solid. There's offers coming in for him too, as far as jobs that can produce some finances. They're genuine offers. So, and he's a genuine dude. Fun-loving, high-spirited. Moving into the house of relationships. You know that 7th house where you all love to live. Well, someone's fulfilling his needs. Now, the last one seemed like in a couple of weeks, they're not even going to be good, right? But it doesn't matter. You can't keep Louis down now. He desires one that is nurturing, loving, kind. Could be a water sign. The nurturers there. Could be a mother, like, or someone that he would like to make a mother. But someone in his life is very loving and nurturing, and this is not speaking to friendships. Okay, it's speaking to romance and romantic lovers. All right, moving right along. Well, He's going to find out that what he doesn't see coming is that like she's a little bit too high maintenance, it's too hard to please. Could be him finding out that he's too demanding and too hard to please. I don't feel that in his spirit, but I mean, high maintenance did come out for, you know, a flair for the dramatics. So maybe he's a little bit too demanding. He could be realizing that about himself, like that there's something in where he's just too hard to please. If it's not him, then the person that is fulfilling all his needs is too hard to please. Or it's too demanding of a position for the one that he is fulfilling them all. Maybe she calls it quits because it's too much. Like, it's too much to please you. I can't keep this going for too much longer. You know, who knows how that is going to play out. Let's just clarify. Yeah, there's arguments. 5 of Swords. See, fun-loving and wholehearted and genuine dude, lighthearted. 2 5s on the board. So things are changing for him. He's going to have some moments where, you know, yeah, she's too hard to please and there's too many, I'm fussing, there's a little too much fussing going on and, you know, I can't keep up with the demands. So it won't last long. Once again, the spiritual growth is that aha moment that's coming in is we are mismatched. That's it. Just mismatched. You know. So I don't see him settling down in the next 3 months in some, I'm locked in this is not a build up to the anticipation thereof engagement or something. This is even the build up to like, hey baby, do you want to move in with me? This is like, oh whoa, here's your toothbrush. You want me to throw it in the trash? You want to take it with you? It's one of those. Because we're a little bit standoffish here. By the time we get into the 10th position, right? We need a little bit of structure and discipline in our lives. So I'm going to just be far enough away that you can't call me, reach me. I'm not responding to any texts. I don't care what this has to do with. You know, this could be even work, but how he carries himself or whatnot. But this also is speaking to the way in which others view him, like the you and me of the world, just out of reach. So he feels relatable, right? Like he's right there, like you could almost touch him, but not quite. And he hangs in there with you, you know, and he's like that because it is part of his purpose, a part of his mission, you know, to be who he is and available to you all, but not available 100%, just out of touch, just out of reach, just far enough away that you can enjoy and you can be included and you can be involved, but you're not really. He knows not to cross those boundaries with his audience, his fandom. He knows that he needs to be there, but he cannot be too involved. And it's because he has that structure and discipline in his life, been in the industry for long enough period of time to know how and what works and what will tear him down, as a musician, as a human, as a friend. He also knows the works of the industry which he's in, how to work it. Now his friends, they're free-spirited, light-hearted, just like him. They may be musicians. We got 4 birds up there on that branch, so they could be musicians too. Just pointing that out in the card. But his friends, they are like him. They're like-minded folks. They believe that, kind of have the same belief system, value system, moral system in this world. And they're just, I feel, high-spirited as well. Not only free, but high-spirited, because this is very high energy. Now his enemy's exotic, so unusual connections. I'm going to say that they're from the islands. That he has an enemy that's exotic, olive, darker complexion, probably different language, whole 9. It's funny how these 2 cards that come out are actually descriptive, and this is the house of friends and enemies, where you're looking for descriptions, Let's just pull one on the enemy. An unusual connection. It's someone that broke his heart, or that he broke their heart. He broke their heart, and they are become an enemy. So, to the folks that follow all of the vlogs and, this stuff that's put out there, you may hear something from one of his exes talking smack. And it's just, they're an enemy because he broke their heart. So I only know of the one, and I don't even know her name, that he was on and off again for 5 years. Do you think that may be one, or do you think it's someone else that maybe he dated and broke things off with, and they're jealous because he's now dating this new one and they didn't have the opportunity, something along those lines, but whatever, this one, because they got their feelings hurt. So it's who did he break up with that was exotic? And that's what I have for
hello
Louis.
there. Hi there. Welcome to Just Bird. Today's video is Zayn Malik, and it's a 3-month ahead. We're just going to touch base and see what's to come over the next 3 months. I have... Y'all know the boys. I don't know, where they come from, how many people they've dated. I didn't know if they were straight, gay, bi, tri, anything, So that's how I do things here. I try to start with a fact, like something in the media that's being reported, which is not fact, but you know what I'm saying? There's never really a fact there, but that's how I like to start, with something that's being reported in media, and I go from there. So let's begin. First, his approach to life is he's open. So he'll be open-minded. He's approaching everything with love. He's very receptive during these 3 months, during this little season of his life. Maybe he feels good about himself. He's been in preparation mode for some time. So he's geared up and ready to go. He's ready to receive. He's ready to give. He's ready to be. He's ready to do. And that's his approach towards life over the next few months. Now, in his second position, this is dealing with like work, right? Work and how he creates the flow of monies. Well, a blast from the past. So expect something, either a revamp of an old song or a collaboration with someone from the past. Who did it? Was it Niall that did did he do a revamp of or he just added new music to an old album or something like that? Maybe that's what Zayn is going to do. Or maybe he's going to be going back to a place to generate income, a place where he was well received and well loved. So where was he in the past? Maybe he'll do something with one of the other boys. But I don't know who he collaborated with or what is in his past to say it could be this or that. Moving into his third house, well, he's mismatched and difficult pairing. So he's hard to get along with. And he's going to talk about that. You may hear him communicating that. And this is something that stems from childhood. He always felt like, I want to say an ugly duckling, but it's not that. It's like the black sheep thing, just never felt like he fit in anywhere with anyone, including his rooted family. Now, he has a great understanding of this. So I don't think that the young man enters into any relationship, be it friend or business or lover. I don't think that he takes any of those relationships lightly. He certainly doesn't enter into them because he feels like he's not well matched with anyone. And like he's too difficult. I don't know if that was something that was kind of like reiterated to him in childhood, like you're the problem, like you're doing something wrong, you kind of thing. Hard-nosed parenting. And he knows that it's difficult for him, the communication between him and others. And this is not just lovers, okay? It's just the communication between he and others. There's misunderstandings and things of that nature. No. You can lick my wrist all you like, darling. You're not coming up on my table. Spoiled. All right, so where was I before I was so delightfully interrupted? All right, so we'll move into this fourth house, which is talking about his physical home. And it's high maintenance, so he has luxury home with luxury bills to match. All right. They have a flair for the dramatic in his family. It's just where he comes from. So they're high maintenance type of folk. That's what he's rooted in, and that's what he likes. That's what he desires. Nothing too low key. Even if it appears low key, it's still going to be the best of the best low key there could be kind of energy. A flair for, I don't know, good taste. That's how I would see it. But the upkeep in the home it's a lot. So I would say that the maintenance in his home, he'll be talking about it, maintaining, and all of the things that he does. Now he lives in Pennsylvania. I'm gonna guess. I'm not sure where, but I'm sure he's isolated and hibernating out in the woods somewhere. A nice piece of property, you know. Anyhow, moving into his fifth position here. This is talking about the SX. Okay. And he's got himself a pretty good match. So whoever he's knocking boots with, they're equally yoked. They're having a lot of fun. They're creative by nature. Lucky. They're very fortunate. I'm just looking at the pattern print on this dress. It's like a beetle pattern and very fortunate, good fortune. So whoever he is knocking boots with, they're good. Now, if he were to take a risk and gamble over this span, he won't lose. There's no great grand payoff or anything, but it could be a good time. If he's a team player, no solo whatever. I do apologize for the outside noise, but it's hot. I have my door open, I have the ceiling fan on, and I just saw a fuel truck go by, so I apologize. So it looks like he's getting it in. Let's pull a card on that and maybe we can get a clarification of who that may be with. But that beetle pattern is letting me know that if he does, like if he were to go to the casino or something, I expect him to win. Like I said, nothing that he would retire on, but he would, something that like we would, if we were to win, it'd be like, you know. So a good chunk of change for him. In my head, I want to say about 100 grand. Let's see who's this. Huh. Maybe somebody from a distance or that just moved to the area. Someone that travels. I'm going to say it's somebody who just recently moved into his area. So I don't, like I said, I don't know who's in PA or where he hangs his head most of the time. I don't know if he stays in PA or where he's at over these 3 months. That would be determined. So wherever he is, it's either a place in which he moved to or someone moved into his neighborhood. And since I don't believe Zayn's made any geographical changes since he left New York for Pennsylvania, I believe it to be someone that moved to the area. All right. So moving into the 6th house. He's growing. This is his future finances. So they're flourishing. He's building up his finances. And that just means that there's more to come as far as work. He's steadily making progress. That's letting me know that he will be back. Okay? He will be back. I don't think that the tour that he ended due to the illness and things, and he had a few cancellations on that tour. So maybe he's going to go back. Like, you know, how he let down Mexico or whatnot. Was it Mexico or New Mexico? I think I'm not sure, but he let those folks down, and then abroad he let some other folks down in, I believe, England with the cancellation, but I could be wrong. But there were 3 dates that he canceled. Maybe he's going to go back to one of those just because a blast from the past or whatnot. He may go back and I don't make it right for his fans that paid for tickets and didn't get to see the show or anything. Let me pull a card on that. But the fact that it's steadily growing lets me know that there's more to come. It was a letdown, but not a setback. And I'm talking about the cancellations. All right, 5 of Swords. He has to fight for it, you know. A lot of fussing going on over work, but he'll fight for what he wants, to be able to maintain, to be able to grow. Probably something with the contract or whatnot, or tour dates, or just something was amiss within his crew on the last reading I did. So that's why I'm going in that direction. It could be family member, just because when I see growth, I'm thinking more lineage and relations than someone like a hired hand. And I only know that because someone in the comments had said that he was such a generous young man that he hired people who were close to him, friends and family members. So there may be an argument that somebody could be kind of halting and stifling his growth, and he has to speak his mind and resolve that. You know, he had to fight for what he has to fight for where he's going, right? But he don't give up. Like, screw it, I fight for what I want. I'm gonna keep making gains. That's where it's at. Like, the fact that maybe his tour was a bust financially for him, he does not view it as a bust, like as an unsuccessful tour, any of it. I think the success is the ability to do it on, I was going to say on my own, but on his own. So yeah, now moving into his relationship, a sweet courtship. So as I said, he's very open and receptive to love, right? And that's his approach to life right now. Well, when it comes to romance, and this is not dealing with friends or anything like that. This is romantic partnerships, and he has romantic right on top of it. So he's whining and dining someone. He's getting his groove back, I suppose. Maybe this one is one that we'll see. Maybe that's why it's popping up here, because I don't believe that the young man's not getting a nut, right? Does anyone here believe that the young man is practicing celibacy at this time? I don't believe that. If he said he is, I would believe him, but I don't believe that of a young man his age and with all of the opportunity he has for one night stands, casual this, or anything that he desires. It could be long term. If he desired to have a young woman, he could have. But I don't know what you know, where he's at, or what the why of it all. The why. But I think that it's wonderful for a young person, man or woman, to know what they want and what they don't want. And it's like, I don't want a relationship, but I'm going to go date around and hurt people's feelings, or get into a relationship when I don't want one. Right? Like, for what purpose? Who knows? Just because you're young and you do shit, that's it. Doesn't have to make sense, rhyme or reason. Let's see if we can get a little more insight into who he's courting. Now, when I grew up, if you were courting, that means you was, you was doing the deed. Oh, look, they're going to break up unless he's entertaining a third party situation. Maybe somebody's cheating on a partner, or it's somebody who he hurt in the past. So what do you think? Maybe they're just a heartbreaker. Do you think that he'll get involved with someone that could possibly have someone? I don't know. I don't know how these boys carry themselves in relationships. I don't know if they're loyal, if they lie, if they cheat. I just know that it would be very difficult to not cheat when you have so much time to cheat and availability and opportunity. So I don't know. All right, so let's just keep it moving. In the 8th position, we got volatile, explosive combo. This is what he don't see coming. I believe it's coming from this here. That there could be a cheating scenario and somebody's going to get explosive and violent or whatever for being cheated on. Either, that scenario, there's 3 people and it can come at you from 3 different perspectives. So choose which one's for Zayn. I don't know, but I love this deck. See how pretty that is? All this pink. Oh, love it. Beautiful Sakura. All right, so give me a little more insight into this explosive combo. So it's more than one, What's the combination? And why? He doesn't see this coming, so I don't know. Something's got to change. It's the death card. Or he's dealing with a Scorpio. And if he's dealing with a Scorpio, it's explosive. And it's probably this person up here that he's getting it in with, where it's really hot and good. The person doesn't have to be a Scorpio, but they carry the energy thereof during this 3-month period here. So Scorpios are highly sexualized people. They lead with it, right? And notorious cheaters, men, women, doesn't matter. They're very seductive and charming, and attractive, but very sexual. Well, he's going to end something in an explosive way. And he has no indication that this is coming. All right, so let's just keep it moving. Since we have no players, I have no idea. These are just picture cards, and everything I say here is baloney and not facts or truth, okay? So in the 9th position, this is his spiritual growth, and we have flighty and playing games. So his growth is stagnated. It's that of a child, but is that stagnant? I would not say no, because if it's that of a children learn quickly and they absorb everything rapidly. So he's learning to have fun, how not to be so serious. And what we saw in his childhood, he's rooted in being difficult. Right? I strongly feel that there was a parental figure that made him feel that he was difficult and challenging and hard to get along with. And now he's growing, right, spiritually speaking, and carries the energy of flightiness, meaning I'm not, who cares? Fuck that tour. We had bubble guts and went home. It's okay. More lighthearted, more easygoing. Good for him. Good for him. All right, moving into the 10th house. He's still having fun here. And it's his mission to learn how to have fun. This speaks to his career. This also speaks to the way that y'all see him is playful. A playful, I'm having a good time spirit during these 3 months. The outsiders looking in are going to view him as like he's having a good time, relax. It's not like if they see Zayn at a party or anything, it's not going to be like Zayn's crashing out. No, it's like, oh, he's having a good time. Nothing, not serious. And that was the lesson that he's been learning. So it seems like he's really aligned. And yes, he needs to have structure and discipline and all of that, right? In life, in all areas. But you also have to lighten up and not take things so seriously. And that's what he's learning to do at work. So I would say that he's going to be having a lot of fun. And you will witness that. You'll be able to see it. Let's see. So in his 11th house, his friends, this is a house of carries his friendships, all right? Well, he has some sexy friends, and he may have an erotic affair with one of them. Friend to a roll in the hay. Very turned on by a friend. Let's see. Let's pull one on Ms. Sexy here. Sexy in a silk dress. Red. Brunette. Very nice. And very irresistible next door, too. Let's see. Looks like the same woman. But that's an enemy. King of Wands fire sign. So, oh yeah, they're not only sexy, they're real hot. Aries, Leo, Sag. They're gonna do it. He's gonna get it on with someone that he knows that he's friends with. It could be a man. It's a king. I'm just saying. But this is just a highly passionate person. It's someone that he works with. He did tour with an all-girl band. Maybe he's still carrying on a little something with someone. He's carrying on with someone. But it's just that. It's a friend that he finds extremely sexy and charismatic, and it's a work friendship. They're mature. They're not too young. They know what they want. They go get what they want. And even though this is a wand, as a king, this lover could turn into like a potential partner. Now, if it was the knight, it would just be all fun, just physical and chemistry and all of that. But since it's king, speaks a different language. There's a maturity that happens. So now the enemies are, he's extremely intensely attracted to someone that hates him. So who's the honeypot? someone's luring him, and why this looks like a checkbook. Like, you know, someone's luring him, if I can speak English right now. There's a stinking lawnmower. I have to run over them anyway. They have a toddler in their house, and I have a couple of toddler outfits I'd like to give to them. Who's this person that has dealings? They have a nice tuchus. They can, you know, they're extremely hot, and they're teasing him, leading him on. Let's see. Who is this? And he likes this person. Everybody probably does. Like, this person's just extremely attractive. So who is that? Irresistible. Intense attraction with an enemy. It's someone that he works with. 10 of Wands. So it could be someone that he like had a thing with in the past, and that it was just too much to bear, and they went their separate ways, where something had ended between the two of them. But this is someone that he works with, and he just be careful. They may be sending in a honeypot to take some money to be able to, or to get you to sign something work related. So just be mindful. Not that Zayn's ever going to hear any of this, but you all be mindful of who he's seen with. That you're like, ooh, side-eyeing, because they could be this enemy showing up. But this is this could be somebody who he goes to the gym with. They have a lot of power. They're extremely physical, so they work out a lot. They could be competitive as far as music, even physical competitions. I don't know. Could be a number of things, but it's definitely someone he works with, and I feel like it's a setup to try to get him to sign checks, or for someone else to make money off of him. So I don't know. What are you doing? And that is what I have for Zayn. Please do consider to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, and join the membership if you are inclined. Have a wonderful rest of your day.